Here's the first 24 hours with my newly adopted purebred Ragdoll Kittens. Tomorrow I am picking up these gorgeous purebred Ragdolls that we found through a breeder on Gumtree, and couldn't be more excited to meet them and welcome them into the family. Alright, so on the way to pick up our kitties. Very, very excited. We were finally on our way home and I was overwhelmed with gratitude and emotion. I couldn't believe we had cats. We adopted a brother and sister. The sister is wearing the red collar, brother the blue collar. At this point we didn't have names for them yet, but the girl just kept meowing. She had a lot to say while we're in the car. And the little dude, little bro, he hasn't said a word. While my friend waited in the car with the cats, I went and got toys, beds, kitty litter trays, kitty litter and everything, because what you don't know is we weren't planning on getting these cats until Christmas for my son as a surprise. But we saw them the night before and I just knew that these were going to be our cats. Yeah, I was a little bit unprepared, but we figured it out anyway. When we got home, I had a lot to prepare to make these guys feel at home. But first, I had to introduce them to their housemate. Okay, welcome home. Hi, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? They weren't impressed at first, but eventually they'll come around. Now began the exciting task of making them feel at home, starting with some water and getting them situated with their kitty litter tray. I learnt this is one of the best things to do first. Okay. This is your kitty litter. This is where you do your little poopies and peepees. And some water. That's where you do your wee-wees and your poopies. The lady we adopted them from suggested we put this stuff into their kitty litter, which is basically kitty litter from their home, from their mum, from their siblings, just to make them feel at home and comfortable going there. Next, I just wanted to set up their own safe haven, so I got a cage to set up in case they wanted to just retreat or anything like that. And it was really easy to set up. I'm gonna find somewhere to put it. That'll do for now. Eventually, I'll upgrade them to something, but this was perfect for now. Next, I wanted to get them as comfortable as possible in their new little cage space. So this is kind of like their base or space base. I don't know what it's called. Home base. And this is where they're going to start to explore the world of our house from. My entire goal at this stage is to make them feel as safe as possible so they can trust us and just feel at home as soon as possible. Until I figure out what we're feeding them, I've got some stuff that the breeder gave us to tie us through for the next day. Cats love to play, so it's time to make them feel comfortable by introducing them to some toys. What you, baby? I felt relieved because they were finally starting to play with something, and they showed signs of relaxing, letting their hair down and playing a bit. While they're occupied, let's set up this scratching post play thing.
This is big brain time.
Perfect. Why doesn't mine look like that? Doggo returns to suss things out, and kitties are still not impressed.
What the dog doing?
Eventually they started eating and going to the toilet, and so I was so relieved to see that they were having some sort of normal behavior. Then I picked my son up from school and surprised him, and he was absolutely shocked and excited. He instantly called his cat Sweetie, which is the one with the red collar. Still hadn't figured out a name for my guy yet, but he was sound asleep on me, which was super sweet. I have 2 pet rats, so it was time to introduce Gracie, who was the more outgoing rat, and see what she thought. She wasn't really fazed, neither of them were. You've seen Ratatouille, but have you heard of Catatouille? My little guy just chilled with me while I cooked up a feast for myself for lunch. Then he met the grandparents over Zoom. Safe to say my mum is cat obsessed like me. Followed by more naps. He was getting more and more comfortable with me, which was incredible, and I was getting closer and closer to coming up with a name for him. I finally figured out his name and we decided to call him Yeshi, short for Yeshua.
Oh, you're so playful. Meow.
I've had cats for a lot of my life, and I tell you, these guys are so chill. But when playtime starts, he's a cold killer. And then finally, at some ridiculous hour, I said goodnight to my little sweetie pies. Alright, let's go see the cats. I was so excited to wake up and start my new daily routine with saying g'day to my little kitty cats, and they couldn't be more excited to see me. I mean, well, they were slowly waking up, but you get the point. I felt bad leaving them in the cage overnight, but I know that as the days go on, they trust me more, I can trust them more, they're more comfortable, that eventually, hopefully, they can sleep in my bed.
Right.
Now when I start to pat him, he purrs as well, which is incredible, and same with Sweetie, but they just love a good pat, and I'm surprised at how just cuddly they are. Oh my goodness. Bruh. Then we had our first little wee-wee accident. So while I was filming Sweetie just chilling and playing, waiting for Yeshi to attack, I panned over to Yeshi and he looked like he was falling asleep. But what I found out was that he was actually having a wee, the biggest wee that I've ever seen, and he was just laying one down. When he was done, it's like he regained consciousness and then he sprung forth out of the little tube and sprayed a bit of wee on the carpet on me and left a lovely little puddle there for me to sort. By hour 23, they were feeling right at home. In fact, they were feeling so comfortable they used the kitty litter together. I couldn't believe how cute it was. Look at them. Look at them. For brekkie, I gave them some tin tuna, which smelt horrible, and I'm not a fan of the ingredients, but waste not, want not, and apparently it's their favourite food. Then I paid to have them registered under my name, officially, Yeshi and Sweetie. We got to have even more cuddles, and their true ragdoll nature started to come out. I mean, look at her. The final family member to meet them was Angel, and she is a bit of a scaredy rat, and look how terrified she is, poor thing.
And look. Yeshi, look, it's a little ready. Just look, it's a little ready.
Angel's poor little heart was beating super fast, but at least the cat didn't try and attack her, so I guess that's a positive.
A little ratty, you're scared, huh?
After a busy morning, they were plum-tuckered and fell asleep under the chair. If you like this video, please subscribe because I've got plenty of videos of Yeshi and Sweetie coming soon.